Hi cyberspace! It's week 2 of NaNoWriMo, and I'm still going strong. Super proud of myself. I'm a little over 13,000 words, which is fairly impressive considering the amount of other work and other stuff that's been going on in my life. Goal for today is 15,000, but I'm hoping to make it more than that because the end of this week and this weekend I will have to work in my Nano around writing 2 English papers that I didn't know were due next week until the beginning of this week. Because nobody told me they were due next week. I thought they were due the week after. But no, they're due next week. So the end of this week and this weekend are going to be a little bit hectic because I'm going to visit my friend at her college and I'm writing 2 English papers. And I'm also doing Nano. So hopefully I will be able to do all of that and maintain a semblance of sanity. I'm going to read to you some more of my Nano novel because you all seem to really like the first 3 paragraphs. I'm just going to go back to where we left off and keep going from there. Here goes. So the last sentence from last week was, this is the truth, set down in ink, which will probably run out before the story is finished, to the light of a flickering flashlight, which will definitely burn out before the ink runs dry, by me, Cecilia Jennifer Henley, in the year 2012, 11 months after the first outbreak of the zombie plague. See, that's a classic component of the zombie apocalypse novel, too. The hero can't start telling the story on day 1. God forbid. It has to be him holed up in a basement somewhere with a guttering candle and no one else left. Usually there's some sort of animal companion. Usually a dog, but alas, I am denied even this small comfort in these dark times. Though honestly, I'm a cat person. Anyway, time for the final cliché component of the zombie apocalypse novel, the flashback that explains how it all began. It's funny, but people don't realize that all the conspiracy theorists were completely right. Not only did the world end in 2012, but the American government and the CIA both had a hand in it. Of course, I didn't know that until after I met Trevor, the ex-CIA agent who had been investigating some other CIA agent, because apparently it's morally okay to hack into your colleague's personal server of research files. And he'd found these files on this guy's laptop explaining about these experiments and... never mind, we'll get there eventually. If I'm going to write this story, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to go back to the time when the CIA involvement theory was considered bogus, and the threat was supposedly contained. Damn, that seems like longer than 11 months ago. Okay, so it's late January 2012. There's a minor earthquake in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Australia, somewhere between Brisbane and the Great Barrier Reef. No one really thought anything of it. A few things fell off of shelves, and the pianos all got jostled out of tune, but it wasn't a big deal. Except that one of the things that fell off the shelves was a biohazard canister in a top-secret underground research facility that no one had ever heard of. Not even the Australians, some people say. And this gas that's supposed to stay under pressure started hissing out of the cracks. The next day, a sad, lonely, nameless research assistant goes into the lab to make sure that nothing got shook around too much. He breathes the gas. 12 hours later, he's lying in a hospital room gasping and wheezing as his throat closes up. 3 hours after that, he dies. Brain function ceases. But this craze-tastic gas has gotten into his blood, and it forces his heart to keep pumping and his lungs to keep breathing. Only instead of giving off CO2, he's exhaling what has come to be known as COZ, carbon dioxide, the Z gas. It takes a total of 15 hours to turn you from a living, conscious, normal human being into a creepy, undead zomboid. Approximately 30 hours after the unnamed technician first breathed the gas, the entire hospital he had been taken to had been corrupted. Police set up a perimeter and tried to keep it contained, and the Australian army showed up to help out. Hazmat teams went in and never came out. The media reported it as an outbreak of anthrax, of all things, and for once they didn't ask too many questions. The quarantine lasted 2 days. You could see the gas building up inside the windows, and then some brilliant person tried to convince the police to open a door, throw in a lighted flare, and watch as the gas caught fire and exploded. But all these activists wouldn't hear of it. They argued that they were still people in there, that the hospital was full of loved ones and real human beings, and that blowing up the building would be a violation of human rights. Scotty Cobb almost saved the world. Too bad almost isn't good enough. If only there hadn't been activists, if only they'd listened to Scotty, the world would not have ended. Sadly, no one is going to take a 17-year-old American named after Star Trek and Firefly characters seriously, especially not the Australian National Guard. It is my personal wish that every activist and every cynical army officer could have been shoved into the hospital and left to stew for 15 hours before they blew the damn building up. But if they wouldn't listen to Scotty, they certainly wouldn't have listened to me. And they didn't listen to Scotty, as I've said now several times. So the world ended. But we're not quite there yet. So I think that's a good place to stop for now. I would really appreciate it if in the comments you guys could let me know if you want me to keep reading from where I left off, or if you would prefer to have me like skip and read something later in the story, something with like character development, or where you actually meet other characters other than just the narrator, or like a real zombie attack like the one I'm gonna be writing today. Hopefully it doesn't fail completely. So tell me if you would like me to keep reading, where you would like me to keep reading from, and then if you want an extra video this weekend with another reading. So like instead of you having to wait until next Wednesday for another reading from the novel, you would get one this weekend as well as next Wednesday. So let me know those 3 things in the comments. I hope you guys still like this story. Obviously, if you don't like it, feel free to tell me in the comments to stop talking about it and talk about other stuff and to not read any of it ever again. That's perfectly fine too. I will keep being nerdy and writing about zombies and freaking out about English papers. You guys keep being nerdy, and please do comment and tell me what you want. And I will see you either Saturday or next Wednesday. Bye!